Fine business. I knew it wouldn't be. We're just monitoring it here for about 3 minutes. Looking, I guess, where do I start here? We had all discombobulated again. If there's any emergency traffic, call 911. Please, first, please. Or if you can't do that, tell us and we'll do it for you. Just be sure to give us your address. You can break in at any time for that. For information on the net, you can go to YouTube right now and see the first surface of my radio, the screen on my radio, to see what your signal compares to others. You can also go to 140, so Facebook, I should say, Mount Juliet. You can put in MJ Simplexton Net. That's what you need. MJ Simplexton Net. That's you can get to see me if you want to do that. I don't know why you would, but you can. I guess some people find it humorous. You can also go to 146415.net. It's kind of simple. 146415.net for information on Simplex and the operation thereof. You also go to groups.io, put MJSS in their search block, and you can sign up for our email system, which is very advantageous if you get technical questions, need support, have questions, or you want to sell or buy equipment. We have bargains coming up now and again. Also, you can go send me an email at k4pew@arrl.net. We need a lot. We meet every night every Wednesday and Saturday night at 8 p.m. on 146.415, and tonight we're doing the nets on 146.415 FM, and then on to we're going to do it again this Wednesdays. I think we'll make it normal. 446.415 FM, and then on to 28.415 upper sideband, and then to 223.415 FM. Don't forget, there's also another 228.415 net, a 10 meter net on Sunday nights at 7:30 p.m. So don't hesitate to forget doing that. No, don't hesitate to meet it. Get there for that net. Yeah. Excuse me. Anyway, the purpose of that is to have fun, figure out who you can hear, who you can't hear, and then figure out how your a huge financial structure can support a new antenna or a higher antenna. Even a higher antenna is a whole lot better than a really, really expensive antenna that's set up at a lower angle or lower elevation. Let's see, where was I? Oh yeah. Does anybody have any other announcements that we need? We have two, and really just two big announcements tonight. Because the one is the field day is a week from this coming Saturday, and it's in the property. I'll be sending out the detailed information a little later. It's behind the United Methodist Church in Hermitage on their property, but it's accessed through Andrew Jackson Parkway at the daycare center there. I should have written it down. Anyway, I'll tell you later. You'll get it in the email because it doesn't matter right now. That's not important right now. Anyway, we got that and the Ham Fest. That's I believe it's July 22nd. Is that right? Anyway, there's a Ham Fest in July. Don't forget to remember to do that. You can go to WC4AR on their website and look up the detail on the website. There's still some information forthcoming, and I'm sure you'll be getting some emails on that to remind you over the next 6 weeks, or whatever it is, 5 weeks. Does anybody have any other announcements? Very good. Well, then we're going to start tonight. This is net number 1011. We're starting from the east. And we'll be starting with short time, people short of time, short on brains. We don't know, that's too many people. Short on time, mobile or first time check-in. So please come in.
Hello, Bravo 5, Echo, Charlie Victor Bolt.
Hello, Larry, what's up?
Well, a whole lot of nothing. Leaving work late as usual. I was like, oh, the net's on. So I figured I'll check in. Well, I still got signal.
Oh yeah, very good. I just hope you're on. You're getting paid overtime. That's all.
No, but I am getting the shift pay working tonight. But they already told me they're not paying me to work from home, despite all the work I do. So I'm just left blanking into the phone.
When I worked at home, I liked it and I didn't like it because it was like I never left work.
Oh, I got plenty of work, no doubt about it.
Well, that's what I mean. Is I felt like I was never really away. I could, I'd go by the what I called my office at at 9 o'clock at night. And say, yeah, I can do that thing I was working on, and then I'd spend 2 hours doing that. I just extended my work day and didn't make my ex-wife happy.
Well, yeah, it's not going over with mine either. When we sit down to eat and the phone starts ringing on the
Well, as long as things are going well and you're getting paid.
Well, I'm happy to have a job, and that's all we can ask.
Oh, very good. Anything else good for the net?
No, sir. Just checking in, saying howdy, and I'll be westbound, hammered out.
Very good. That's Larry. He's on his way to Lyle, Lyle. And that's KB Kilo Bravo 5 Echo Charlie Victor, and he's mobile tonight. Just leaving work now, so it's been a long day. Who else is mobile, short on time, or first time checking? All righty, we shall go on. And we're starting from the east. Please come down.
KM4YRF.
Hey, Michael. What's up with you today?
Nothing. Just got through with a day's work. Stopped by the storage building and dug out a washer and dryer that I sold, and so now here I am.
You just store stuff there to pay for it so you can visit it once in a while?
Well, I've just got lots of stuff there that I don't have any place to put.
Man, and the storage is, I'm not going to ask you how much it is, but I know a lot of people do that. I've considered doing it, but ever since I met this guy who was a manager of one of those, one of those nationwide, it wasn't a nationwide, but he managed one of the regions for one of those big storage companies. And he said, most people store just a bunch of crap in it.
Well, there's a whole bunch of stuff that we're going to get rid of. We had to get in there quick, get out from where we were, and it's just a big mess. But we got some cleaning up done a little bit today.
So you're not going to have any storage wars stories?
Lord God, I hope not.
Yeah, we can imagine, people leave stuff there and then they just abandon it for whatever reason, and then people got to sort through all the junk in it.
Well, the lady that was doing my therapy down here at TOA, just right there across from Ford Place, her daughter is getting married and needed a washer dryer. We just got to talking about stuff in storage, and so I made her a deal she couldn't refuse, and they're coming to get it Friday.
Oh, great. Yeah, that's nice when when you can get something sold and it's going to I'll just say a good cause.
Well, it's just for me, I just rather somebody get some use out of it, because it'll just sit there and ruin it if it's there too long.
I know I had one sitting here in the garage. It was probably sitting in a dryer it was apparently functional when it quit. I don't know when that was, maybe 15 years ago. And I fired that up, and old mice carcasses blew out the back of it, and it was a mess.
I hear that. Well, I reckon I've got nothing else, so I'll say thanks to Net Control. Thank you for doing what you do.
Yeah, that was Michael, Kilo Mike 4 Yankee Romeo Foxtrot. He's here in Mount Juliet. He does the net when I'm not here, or sick or dead, one of those three things, or all three. Who else is east? All right, I'm gonna have to light a fire on a couple of those people over there east: Stan and Kevin and Philip, Kerry. Well, yeah, I think he might be south. I don't know what he calls himself. All right, who else is north then?
WB0 and oil.
This is going to be one short net there, Mark.
Yeah, it sure is. And I don't have anything to add. No new news over here.
Well, it's always good news when there's nothing new happening. That's why when my wife will get up, because she works different hours. She works third shift practice. She gets home at 2:30, and then she goes to bed, and later in the morning. And then I get up probably at 9 o'clock, and she'll get up at 2 or 3 and go, so what's new in the news? I go, nothing, no floods, no fires, no murders, no nothing. And she, oh man, that's boring.
Well, between trials of the ruling class and shooting, that seems to be about all that's on the news. Of course, all the new buildings.
Yeah, every time I go down there, it seems I'm looking at another one of those tower cranes.
Oh yeah, they're everywhere. I think there was a time, maybe a year or so ago, that you could not get a crane in Nashville. It didn't work.
Oh wow, I'm not surprised. I know that it was kind of freaked me out one time. I was down I worked in Florida. I went down to Sarasota to look at a project that was coming out of the ground. It was already structurally built, but it was still just a shell. There was no interior done. on any of the floors that I recall. And they had one of those cranes, I mean elevators that was on, it was, you know, it was attached to the side of the structure. You know, and it's just, it's a, you know, it's a temporary crane that just mounts there, an elevator, I should say. And it went up to, I don't know, 12, 13 stories. And yeah, it's the first time I'd been in one of those, you know, construction elevators. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, fine, it should be fine. Anyway, get in the elevator with a half a dozen other guys. Probably 10 or 12, you know, they're all workmen, and I'm in kind of a, you know, business type outfit just because I was researching something for the company. And they, and I stood there and looked, and the label on the crane says made in, I think it was Czechoslovakia. I go, am I supposed to trust this?
Yeah, well, I guess you don't have a lot of choice. I think the worst one I was ever on was in a Quaker Oats factory in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. And it was like maybe 5 or 6 stories. But they had a great big fabric belt that had steps on it. And it was a step and a handle and a step and a handle. And if you wanted to go up, just stepped over onto the belt and grabbed hold of the handle and up you went.
Is that right? I don't think I've ever seen one like that. Does OSHA approve that kind of crap?
Well, there was no OSHA when that plant was built. That's where they did the puffed wheat and the puffed rice. Remember that stuff? And you could smell it all over town.
I never did like that puffed wheat or puffed rice, man. Especially the puffed wheat. It had like, I felt like I was eating something right out of the fields.
Well, you were. And I guess they had blowers that would blow all the bad stuff out of it.
Well, it's that's interesting though. I mean, so it was at an, it had how much of a step were you standing on when you held onto the handle? How big was the step? Big for both of your feet?
You know, you might be able to get 2 feet on it. Most of the guys would just step on it with 1 foot and 1 arm, and up they go.
And how wide was the belt? It had to be a couple 3 feet wide, maybe.
Oh no, I don't think it was much over a foot wide.
Yeah, that sounds pretty precarious to me. But obviously, it's been working for years, right?
Yeah, I mean it was nothing to the folks that were there. That's just how they did it. And they had a staircase if you wanted to do that, but that was a long way around.
Oh, that's funny. I'll have to look that up. I'm sure there has to be something, a belt elevator for industry somewhere, picture.
Yep. I do remember having to wear a hard hat in there, and I thought that was kind of strange in a cereal factory, but that's what it was. All right, we'll carry on. I'll be listening. WB0
I guess it'd be like wearing a helmet in a styrofoam factory, too. All right, that was Mark, Whiskey Bravo 0, November, Oscar, and he's up in northwest Wilson County, up by the National Weather Service up here. Who else is north?
KD4VW, Carlin up in Angeltown, Bethpage.
Hey, what's going up there, Carlin?
Sun's going down. Matter of fact, it's down. It's kind of getting dark. Nothing much, I don't reckon. Happened to think about the Nets. Come on in here and turn the radio on. Y'all done began it. So I thought, well, he sounds like he's in the east. So I'll just wait until he comes around to the north.
Yeah, maybe I'll fix it up wrong. Do it wrong and do it backwards and mess everybody up. Mess me up.
Yeah. Well, you could go clockwise instead of counterclockwise and really mess everybody up. I don't know there. Well, anyway, so I check in, say hello to everybody. Hope everybody's having a good night tonight and enjoying the net. And I guess everything's going okay with you.
Oh yeah, she's going just dandy. I think my wife's got she's off this week from work, so we're enjoying time together and doing things and just messing around, which is unusual because she works, you know, that kind of it's really a second shift days during the normal work week.
Yeah, I used to work from. I didn't think they were too great hours, but I did them. We worked 7.5 hours, and it was 4 hours in earlier or 4 hours over. And I worked 3:11. So I either had to be there at 11 o'clock in the daytime and get off at 11 at night, or I'd come in normally at 3 p.m. and get off at 3 a.m. the next morning. So I did a whole bunch of those, and plus weekends. That was just that was normal, you know. The foreman come around Saturday and Sunday, and if you say kind of shook your head no, they kind of stand there and look at you like you ain't got a choice, you know. But that's all gone away with and stuff. I progressed out of that part of it, got into other things in that company and stuff, so it wasn't as bad. I was not in the production floor. I was only in the production floor when I had to go out and take care of the inkjet system, and that was about it for one of the bindery lines or something. But as far as on the bindery line in production or something, I wasn't doing that no more. So, well, anyway, let me hook you up, let you get some more check-ins there. So, hope everybody's enjoying that, and it'll be pleasant outside. So, with that said, Kilo Delta 4 Victor Uniform Whiskey, and I'm going to turn it back over to the next control.
Very good. That was Carlin with a big signal. Kilo Delta 4 Victor Uniform Whiskey. He's in Bethpage, Angeltown area. Who else is north? North or west?
KO4 OTV.
Man, you got a lot of feedback there. Is that in your head or is it out in the speaker somewhere?
Yeah, my steel plate keeps setting it off now. I got a scanner on right here. It just came through right as I was just keyed up, so I guess it was scanning right when I keyed up at the same time, so I had to crank her down.
Man, you got a big signal today, boy.
Yeah, man, you sound good here too. It's not pegged on my end, but it sounds like you are.
Oh yeah, you're only S7 here, but I had to put my headphones off my ears because it was killing me.
Oh, I may be a little close then.
No. It's just a big audio. That's all. It's just great.
Oh, good. Yeah, we've been on vacation. We've been out in Gatlinburg last 4 days, and we just got back today, and I was taking the rest of the week off, so that's the reason why I'm in here tonight.
Yeah. How was Gatlinburg?
Crowded. It was. I had a lot of fun. I mean, you know, when you're the driver, it really takes a lot of the fun out of it. But we went to Klingman's Dome, and I couldn't believe how packed it was up there. And it was probably in the low 40s when we got up there, you know, because you're at such a high elevation. I did take a ham radio with me, and there's just too many people up there to kind of enjoy it. You know, I could make contacts out. I could hear some commotion in Atlanta. And, a few other. I could even hit the Nashville repeater, which was insane from up there. But you're 6,643 feet, I think it is.
Yeah, it's up there a little bit. Consider we're at what, 700 feet.
Oh yeah. I was actually impressed by all the repeaters I could hit from that location.
Oh, I'll bet. Yeah, Richard had told me that one time too. He'd get a repeater. I forget how far he went out, but it was quite a distance.
I wish I had some farther ones programmed in because you're so high up, it's unbelievable. Because you're just you can see over everything. I mean, you're even above some of the clouds there. It's pretty impressive.
Well, 6,600 feet. My gosh. Yeah, I can't remember when I've ever been at. Well, when I lived in Florida, what was it, 25 feet? You know.
Yeah, you know they're getting inundated down there in South Florida right now. I think they're expecting 20 inches.
Yeah. You know, they make it sound, and I watch the national news today, and it gets weird to me because okay, it rained a lot. It's bad. It's bad. It fills up, and the roads get kind of flooded sometimes. But by midnight, it's all gone because it runs out into the Gulf or the swamps. Either side of Fort Lauderdale is either the Everglades or the ocean.
And it's amazing that they can, you know, disperse that fast. That's a ton of rain. You know, we got that much here in was it May 1st, May 2nd, 2010. You know, it varied between, I think, 14 and 21 inches in the area. But, I mean, you look what it did here, you know, and look what it does there. It's just wild to me.
Oh, yeah, it's amazing. Of course, where I grew up, it was just funny. I never gave it a second thought. I mean, I saw flooding in, you know, the news in other areas of the world, in the United States. And when I took my current wife up there, she had never been to Niagara Falls. And she saw the river. She said, wow, that's impressive. You know, big flowing river, the Niagara River. And she saw the rapids and the falls and says, wow. She goes, man, what happens when it floods here? I go, never. She goes, what? How can it not flood all this water? I go, that's one big hole called Lake Ontario.
Exactly. exactly. It's like a big giant toilet.
No, it's funny. It's funny because it's never we never had flooding ever. It just there was no such thing as flooding.
Yeah, because I mean, you look at that hole that drops off in there, it'd be impossible.
Well, you got to remember that flows out to the Atlantic. So if it fills up the Atlantic, we're all in trouble.
No doubt.
Yeah, no, it's what's really is that's why to me, even to me who grew up there, it is a fascination that thing's been flowing for I don't know. I have no idea what the millennium is, but it's a long time.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, who knows? It had to have been around the, second ice age, I guess.
I think it was the Ice Age. Yeah, it's just weird. Now, one of the neat things about living right there on the river was we were at a relatively low point in that part of the state. And in fact, when you're looking north into Canada, right across the river, it was there at about the same elevation, but the elevation kept rising. So you actually could talk to people. They were about 70, 80 miles away on Simplex up on what would, it's like here when you go out to talk up toward Kentucky. There's a ridge going north, so you can talk to people up there all day.
Oh, yeah, if you're on the Cumberland Plateau, it's like that too. But I tell you, that Cleveland Dome, that was a whole other ball game up there. It was impressive how far I could get out. You can hear people on Simplex way out. I could hit Mount Mitchell, North Carolina, which that's not saying a whole lot because it's still a little ways from me from there, but we're still up so high, it's not really a challenge. But when you're here in Atlanta and stuff like that, I just thought that was neat.
Did you try calling out on the calling frequency on 2 meter?
I did, but my receive, man, was kind of jacked up there for some reason. And there were so many people that it was kind of unenjoyable. Every time we turned around, there was some kid bumping into you or anything. I mean, there was probably 60 or 70 of us on the top of the observation tower up there. And there were all points in between. Everywhere you went, there were just people walking. It was pretty crazy how crowded it was for the temperature up there.
Was there somebody else in there?
Comment.
Hey, go ahead, Mike.
Hey, were you using the HT?
Joe, were you using HT?
Yeah, it was a little Kenwood THK20, a little 5.5 watt.
All right, that's all I needed.
Yeah. Well, anybody who bothers you, it's a pretty short trip to the bottom.
Oh, no doubt.
Now, what is it? A fire tower, observation tower kind of thing?
Yeah, if you ever look it up, you can see it online. It's just like it's a concrete observation tower that kind of goes around in a big loop and it comes out to the top. It's been there, I think, since like 1959.
Oh, wow. Almost as old as me.
Yeah, it's been there a long time. They had I think it was in the 30s, I think it was in the 40s, during World War II, they had a big bomber crash into it up there as well. Not the observation tower, but right there at the top of that mountain.
Wow. Of course, we had a lot of bombers in the air. Did you ever see the statistics on how many airplanes the United States built before and during the war?
Not so much about airplanes, but the Jeeps, the Willys Jeeps was unbelievable.
The airplanes, I don't remember any. I only remember one statistic, just the plant my dad worked in after the war, but I had other relatives who worked at the Bell Aircraft plant during the war, and that they built a P-39. You can look that up if you don't know of it. Not a big deal. I mean, it wasn't a big winner in it, but it did. We gave about something like 7,000 of them to Russia, and that's what helped them defeat the Germans on the Germans' Eastern Front. But anyway, it was like close to 10,000 just built in one plant.
Man, that's impressive. And the flight hasn't really been around a long time since, when that happened. So it's pretty impressive that there were that many people trained in that short amount of time and able to do that,
Oh, no, it really is. You're right. And there was others, all those other manufacturers, all of them, I can't even name them all, but you know what I'm talking about, all those during World War II. There was, I forget how many total bombers and fighters and fighter bombers they built. It was I don't know, I'm guessing it was 100 to 200,000 of them. I mean, it's impressive what our industry can do in this country. When there's a profit involved.
Oh, no doubt. And what they did the D-Day thing, and all the people that were still surviving to me was amazing. I saw it on the news last week. I just couldn't believe it. I said they had one guy that was 103 and died on his way there.
Oh, wow. I saw one today. It was a 97-year-old guy he was one of the paratroopers who parachuted into Normandy, on the other side of the beach. And they strapped him to another guy and they parachuted to Normandy again. He was 97.
Oh man, how neat was that? Yeah, that right there. I mean, part of my French was the last of the badasses.
I'm telling you, man. Well, that was a pretty bad. I can't imagine. Hey, you guys are going to go in right on the beach against all the Germans. You go, really? Try to go home?
That's exactly right.
No, that was some rough stuff. I think we, the Allies, just one of the beaches lost over 10,000. I think that was the number.
Oh yeah, it was massive amounts lost that day. It was golly, there was a county here that was deployed to it. I think there was 50 in there, 58 or 60 in there. I can't remember what it was, but only two of them came back.
Oh wow! I think I told you guys that my a close family friend that we knew, my mother knew her whole life, so I knew him through because he was in our church, and I knew him most of my when I was young enough to remember him. But he had served with the Old Hickory Division that went from Normandy all the way up through Europe.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine witnessing something like that. That had to have been just insane to witness and still be alive today to tell about it. It just amazes me.
Yeah, but there's darn a few left at this point.
Oh, no question about it. It's amazing there's any left.
Yeah, that 103 year was it 103? Was that the guy you were talking about?
It was 102 or 103. Yeah, he was. I think it was 103 if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, man. Yeah, he's lived two lives.
Hey, no doubt. I mean, it hurt my legs and back and everything that's here in his age.
Yeah, no, that whole, that to this day, it's an interesting statistic. To this day, the invasion of France in this June of 1944 was the largest movement of men and materials on the face of the earth.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It really is. You'll never see another generation like it.
I know it wasn't planned by the leftists who go to the Columbia School.
I don't even think any of those existed in that time.
No, I'm joking. We joke about that, but can you imagine the planning involved in that? I just can't. I can't imagine how big that was.
Oh God, no. I mean, I wouldn't even know where to begin.
Yeah, first we need fuel for the boats and the planes. That's we got to get there. Anyway, no, it's just fascinating stuff. It really is. And I'm afraid, and I don't want to belabor the issue, but I'm afraid for our country right now, because if we get pulled into a war somewhere, and I'm not hoping we do, we are up Poop Creek, the state of our current young folks.
Oh, there's no question about it. I have a really bad feeling about this year, and I have for a long time. I hope I'm wrong, but I feel like that's coming very soon.
No, I really don't want it. But it sure would shake up our young people, because I think they've become very complacent. They won't be able to take their cell phones with them.
No, they're all complacent already. There's no, I mean, I wouldn't. I hate that they're our future right now. And the thing is, the cell phone is absolutely the 100% problem. It absolutely is. I don't think they should be allowed phones until they're 18 at this point. When it first came out, I thought it was neat technology, but now I just think it's the worst thing that could have happened to society.
Well, I heard that there is a very small trend working in schools that bans the use of bringing cell phones to school.
I mean, it wouldn't hurt.
Well, that would be a big start. It really would, because I think it's the kids with the nominal brains I had in school. Try to imagine having a smartphone in first grade through 12th grade. I had enough stupid distractions. I didn't need that.
No doubt, like a Rolodex.
No, you know what I'm saying? It's just, it's just, I can't imagine having children all having cell phones. It would, I just can't imagine, because all the stupid stuff that goes on in the cell phones and all the distractions it obviously gives people. Anyway, anything else for that, Joel?
That's it for me to follow. Is there a 6-meter net?
Where are we tonight? No, tonight's 10-meter net, 6 meters on Sunday night. Saturday night.
Okay, which I know y'all did a 6-meter on Saturday night, but I just didn't know if y'all did them on Wednesday.
No, 10 meters on Wednesday, along with we're doing a 440 net too right after this one. So be there.
Okay, roger that.
All right, that was KO40 TV. That's Joel in west of Ashland City. Who else is west?
KC4 LV.
Hello, Jack. Anything good tonight?
Same old stuff. It was a beautiful day, though.
Yeah, it was pretty. Yeah, you're right. It was fantastic. I wish we had. Well, it was a little bit. I went out and sat in the backyard for. That's how much work I did. in the backyard in the heat of the day around 4 o'clock, and it was pretty hot.
Yeah, it only took about 20 minutes to start getting sweaty.
Yeah, but that's all right. I enjoy it. It's listen. I spent a lot of time working outside when I worked construction. Of course, I was a lot younger, and when I was in the Navy overseas in the Middle East. So this isn't really a stretch for me. It's very nice.
Well, when I was working, I was in a studio, so it's like being in a tomb all day. So yeah, I enjoy being outside.
Oh yeah, that it was funny when I worked after I was working after construction. I worked in a hospital, so I was working in the same location every day. For um, and I couldn't. And then I went to work, and I worked there for 7 years. I got so used to working in one location, I got a job as a regional, a supervisor of some technicians in the HVAC field. And I was out. I got a car, and I was going out on the road. I was like, "Holy crap! There's people out during the day."
Well, we don't let it in, so I'll let you get on with it, Paul. Thanks for doing them.
All right, very good, Jack. That was Jack, Kilo Golf 4 India Lima Victor in Donaldson. Who else is west?
Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo.
Okay, we've got Kilo Delta 4 Cud Victor Echo in Smyrna. How you doing?
I'm an A, but that's all right.
Oh, I said Smyrna. I'm sorry. I didn't want to insult you.
No problem. But speaking of Old Hickory Boulevard, you ever looked at it on the map?
I have. Why?
It comes and goes and starts and stops, and they rename it this, that, to this stretch, but then picks back up and then stops here and dog legs over here.
Oh, yeah. In fact, I think that was the road my wife said we were going to go somewhere. This is about 10 years ago. And she's pretty familiar with the area, but in this case, she said, we're going to go here. I said, okay, great. And we're going up north, and I said, are you sure it's up here? Because I think it's an Old Hickory way back there on the other side that we should have been. Because it just seemed right to me. I didn't know exactly. And damn, if we didn't go 20 miles out of our way, round trip to get back to where we were supposed to be.
Yeah, where do you live? Off Old Hickory Boulevard. Oh, good.
I know. It is. No, it is kind of funny, but that happens in a lot of municipalities, a lot of areas where and then you come to a point where it changes names, and you go, what? How can you change names in the middle of a road?
Yeah, that's it. I can't remember Louisville doing that, but Nashville's bad for. Mount Juliet Road is Hobson Pike and probably other things that you. Well, yeah, but actually, what am I saying? It's Old Hickory Boulevard. Did you know that? Mount Juliet Boulevard, Mount Juliet Road turns into Hobson Pike, turns into Old Hickory Boulevard.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't fully realize that because Mount Juliet Road does continue, but it doglegs east.
Yeah, there's a dog leg at the Old Hickory Boulevard as you hit Murfreesboro Road.
Right, that's another. Yeah, it's just funny how, again, these aren't planned roads. Ultimately, many of them, they were just roads that were created as the communities grew.
Very good. I'll let you move on. KD4 CD.
Very good. That's Greg. He's not in Smyrna. I just want to clear that up. He's in Antioch. And that's Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo. And as he goes, his code name is either Cud or Biscuit. Who else is, where was I? West.
KC4 TNQ.
Hey, Charles, are you, you don't have any code name, do you?
I do, but I'm not going to tell you what it is.
All right. We had, how in the military, there are radio they're just call signs, radio call signs that are assigned to the ship. And when my ship was first commissioned in 1945, the call sign on the radio was chamber pod.
Wow, you was on the chamber pod, huh?
Well, that was initially. It wasn't chamber pod when I got on it. And then it changed a couple of times while I was on it. My favorite call, though, was dreadnought. I'm sure you've heard that term, dreadnought, as in, like fears none, and the name like a battleship. We were just a little destroyer, so a lot of people, we didn't fear anybody, but we should have.
Yeah. I was hearing Joel talk about the World War II stuff, and you too. And you remember those pictures of those big balloons that they had off the coast of France? They were made here in Tennessee in Paris, Tennessee, at Tyson Camp, and apparently it was a big thing, right, for a couple of years right there during the war.
You said in Paris, Tennessee?
miles south of Paris, Tennessee, and they actually made a camp, Camp Tyson, and it had, oh Lord, I think it was like 24,000 workers or soldiers or something all there working and training and putting together those big balloons. Well, I think they call them scraping balloons.
And yeah, that's right. I forgot about those. Are those tethered balloons they had up there, right?
Yeah, they would fly, have to be on big cables and be flying up there like at 12,000 feet, keep the planes from coming in and scraping the beach.
Wow, wow. Isn't that amazing, though, the things that they would do during the war? I mean, even there was an industry of just making fake tanks and, blow up tanks and Jeeps and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, they had a lot of thought and it took a lot of ingenuity to win that war.
I know we did. I remembered from history that, and we talked about it briefly on another net about Patton. He was the diversionary attacker from England to go over toward, I guess, Belgium. I'm not sure where that was. He alleged, they gave information that he would be attacking north, wherever north was. I forget. I think it was Belgium, but I'm not sure. At any rate, and that was the fake. So they weren't fully prepared when they attacked Normandy. But then when we were in the Gulf War, the first Gulf War, we did the same thing. We made a fake attack on Kuwait from the sea, and that forced all the people to run west back toward Iraq, and then we bombed the living hell out of them as they escaped.
Yeah, well, I didn't ask my wife on about all that kind of history stuff. She's a history major, so she's actually going back to school trying to get her bachelor's degree.
Oh, she was going to get a teaching certificate or something?
Oh no, she's retired. She just wants to do it because she's never had the opportunity to finish getting the bachelor's that she wanted.
Oh, cool. What kind of history did she like best? I mean, American history?
I don't know. I really have to ask her. She's got some World War I and World War II books in there. I guess I need to look through them and learn a little bit.
Yeah, I bought a book some years ago, and I glance at it now and again, and it's just the history of destroyers, because I was on one, in World War II, and that's only from December of 41 to April or August of 45. So it's a very short period of time. That book, let me look at it. Yeah, it's about 3 inches thick, and it's fine print, and must have 800 pages in it. That's just the history of destroyers action in World War II.
Wow, there's just so much information. I guess that's to make it that deep, right? It's like just story after story, I guess, right?
Yeah, it's a history of the battles and what was going on with what fleet went where and who was attacking who and what the Germans and the Japanese were. That whole schmear of who was doing what, and you go, holy crap! I can't read this book in my whole lifetime. I don't think.
It's just amazing how they can keep everything together and plan stuff out. Well, anyway, Paul, I don't want to hold it any longer. I know there's other people want to get on there. So, y'all have a good evening. Catch you on the next one. KC4, thank you.
Yeah, very good. That was Charles. He's in West Nashville. Kilo Charlie 4 Tango November Quebec. Who else is west? West or south? No south? A little noisy, but I got you in there, Larry. You copy me? Very good. That's Larry, Kilo Echo 4, Sierra Yankee Victor. He's in Rockville. Who else is south? South or anywhere? Oh, wait a minute. There was 2 in there, but I think I knew who they were, but I'm not going to talk to one of them. I'm only going to talk to one of them. Earl, what's up?
No, not much. Just had a little porch time after getting busy going around in circles on the mower with the blades engaged. What's going on over there in your big world?
Oh, man, as long as you're not engaged when you're trying to sharpen them.
Hell yeah, they got a daggone special tool to keep your hands out of the way for that project.
Did you ever work on a let me think. There was a meat, those the electric meat slicers you see in the delis or in restaurants The ones where you just move the slide back and forth with a disc that just spins around, the sliding knife edge disc.
Yeah, I seen them. I was kind of well, I've never used one, but I seen them being used. They are they got adjustments and whatever for the thickness of the slice of the carcass you want.
Right. Well, I was just going to tell you, that's why I thought it was interesting about sharpening something. The director, who was not, I don't think he had too many brains. He came over and he told me, he said, listen, this thing's getting dull on me. I don't know. Can you sharpen it for me? And I went, I never even looked at it before, you know. So, yeah, I'll figure it out. And so I went over to the machine and I picked it up and looked at it and turned it around. And sure enough, on a hinged plate on the back of it, there was a device. You just lifted it up and it lifted up, and it actually had a grinding wheel, a grinder, you know, a polishing stone that all you had to do is bring it up and it would do it automatically.
All right, cool deal. Well, there's hidden things in those Mr. Coffee makers and vacuum cleaners that I used to repair that I didn't know they had until you got the disassembly part going on. But anyway, that's good to know. I'm glad. I guess that was an easy thing to fix. We had to find that built-in self-sharpener. Maybe you can get $1 million idea and put that on the bottom of the motor deck so blades don't ever get dull.
Yeah, but all bets are off, man. Because imagine how precarious that would be, having someone underneath that it would adjust to meet the blades as they're spinning. That'd be pretty rough.
Yeah, it'd probably be a noise maker sign. Maybe it'd be like a temporary base plate or something like that. You can just pull the lawnmower or push it on whatever type of motor it is, and they're going to let the AI robotic arm take care of it.
That's right. AI is going to be our answer to everything, isn't it?
Next best thing to Google.
Well, pretty soon, you know, when they have it, I'm going to buy an AI for my computer here, and then I'm just going to let the AI run on that.
Yeah, there you go. That's well, you know, they always I remember back in the day when that you know, the phrase started going around, work smarter, not harder. So I guess if you don't have to get up, shower, and get ready to go to work, I guess that's working smart, because you don't have to do anything. Go from one room to the next and let the internet take care of whatever's in between. Wireless, I guess. Does that make sense, or if I'm just WOD way out there?
No, I think it does. Everything's wireless these days. I just bought a new mouse, and it was Bluetooth to the laptop. I went, oh, I like that. That's cute. So it didn't take up any USB space to have the wireless, you know, connection. So it was pretty. So everything's going to be AI and wireless, and I guess we'll just sit around eating and getting fat.
Yeah, wait for the satellites to tell us what's what and what's not, you know, and you know, wait for Mr. Spock to take over. But anyway, I'll let him go with that. We'll catch you when we can, Paul. KU4 is over here at Stick City or Cedar City, making little sticks down to big sticks. We'll see you at 7-3.
All right, Earl, good to hear from you. That was Earl over there in Noreen, east of the Cedars 11 Park. And it's called as Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu. Who was the other station? Hey, Brian, you made the net. Oh, I'm sure it's for the cats, sure. No, when I've got dog, you know, the biggest problem we've had over the years is when it becomes summer season. I can guarantee I'm going to find ticks on the dogs and sometimes on me.
now the one won't come back up out of the basement because it's been sprayed with the flea stuff, and washed with the flea shampoo, and it just doesn't want to be up there. It knows it's going to get more of that treatment. The other one, it's the end of his life anyhow, but he's going downstairs to be with the little one, so we have to kind of put up with it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, ticks are a pain in the neck, and fleas are too. I mean, fleas, when a flea infestation is horrible. I remember in Florida when it was dry outside, and I had 3 or 4 dogs then, and the fleas would, oh man, they were unbelievable. And I'd go out and I'd have to treat the whole yard with, some insecticide to get rid of the fleas.
Yeah, these are always indoors, so my wife thinks that the one cat went out for just about 2 minutes, brought all his fleas in. I don't think so. I think the fleas are coming in from something else.
I'm not making any suggestions about what you do out in the yard, but the fact is you can bring in fleas, and your daughter can bring in fleas, and your wife can bring in fleas on your socks or your pants. They wouldn't know. They just jump right up on you.
Well, I guess I'll have to be outside with any socks or pants on.
No, I'm seriously. I mean, because somehow fleas have this crazy sense of what's close to them, and they'll just jump right up on you off of the floor. If they're looking for a host, they'll find you.
Well, the way life goes. I don't know what we'll do with them. But I was washing the black cat, and it looked like he was bleeding as much as there was going down the drain. Red, what was blood, I guess. It was all the dried blood that was coming off of him. So he must have lost a couple ounces of blood from all the flea bites.
Oh, wow. Well, at least fleas are good because they're not hangers on like the ticks.
That's true. I used to have a friend that had a golden retriever, and I'd go over to his house and help him pull what looked like little green peas all over the darn thing. And he couldn't see them. But that dog really liked the fact that all those things were taken off.
Oh, I'm sure that's true. Yeah, ticks are disgusting when they get big. I mean, I've pulled them off myself. I've pulled them off dogs, and no big deal. But I mean, I'm used to it. It's not a huge deal, and I've had dogs before, so it's not a big mystery. But anyway, anything else from that?
No, that's it. Just checking in to make the numbers high, whatever.
We don't care about those stinking numbers. You were number 12, though. I am counting. Well, very good. I'll catch you later then, Brian. That was Brian. He's mobile up I think he's in the Kroger parking lot in Hendersonville. Kilo Alpha 3, Charlie Tango Papa. Who else is any place?
KQ4 AEC mobile.
There was 2 in there since I heard somebody doubling, but I did hear Chris. What's up, Chris?
Hey, how you doing, Paul? I got 2. I got one answer for you and a movie to turn you on to.
One answer. What was the question?
Last net, you asked me if Blue Angels had tail hooks on their jet, and they do. I went back and looked at some of the pictures when they were flying some of their stunts with their landing gear down, and they do still have the tail hooks on it. And so apparently the idea is that they should be able to return those jets to service if needed within like a couple of days or something like that.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But at the same time, they would almost have to have the tail hooks on them, unless they had a special order for just the Blue Angels. Because all of the contract, I'm guessing, again, I've never dealt with that, but I'm guessing when they order whatever the current model is, they order them all with tail hooks because that's the plan. All of those Navy planes, there are Navy planes on shore stations, but when they get deployed to a carrier.
Yeah, right. And I don't think Blue Angels fly the newest jets in the fleet.
You're probably right. I think the Air Force gets those, don't they?
Now, I didn't think didn't think the Thunderbirds fly older F-16.
Huh? Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know the answer to that. I've never kept. I had a hard enough time keeping up with ships, let alone aviation.
Yeah, I know. As an Army guy, I just always kind of, for whatever reason, was kind of fascinated with all the jet stuff. I could never have been a pilot because I get motion sick on a carousel.
Yeah, no, that's. We did some practice operations with an F4, a Phantom, which was a ball. He was making practice runs on us as if he was attacking us, and scared the crap out of me. I'll tell you about it some other time. It just was funny.
Those, yeah, F4s are pretty awesome. Yeah. And then the other thing was you were talking with Earl earlier, talking about AI taking over, and we're just gonna not do anything with it. Have you seen the card that's an animated movie, WALL-E?
How's it spelled?
I think it's W-A-L, might be two L's and an E on the end. WALL-E.
Oh, okay. It has something to do with AI, I take it.
Well, they say the trash piles up on the planet, and all of these planets have got this fantastic computers and devices and stuff that just manage everything they could possibly want. They've gone for hundreds of years. Basically, humans are just these large, bloated beings in these remote chairs moving around, having everything given to them and fed to them, etc.
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny is that you still need, if there's AI, there still has to be a machine, and it has to have power, and it can't build its own power plants.
Well, that's true, I guess. Yeah.
Unless they got it hooked up to volcanic action, or I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It has to have a prime mover somewhere to supply all the computer stuff. But I had that one. I asked Google a question on Google's chat, whatever it's called, and they gave me an answer. I didn't like it, so I asked Bing, and it gave me the answer. It actually gave me the right answer. I say a right answer, what I believe to be the right answer. And I said, and the other one, he gave me it was like it was a non-answer answer. And so I went back and I asked Bing's chat, it's AI, how come Google got it wrong? And I said, well, probably had the wrong information. You know, it was like critical of Google.
Yeah, they're already programming in devices.
Well, it's still programmed by humans, so I don't have a lot of hope for it.
Yeah, you're talking about the power supply for AI. I think that's the basis for another movie, Matrix, I think.
Yeah, it probably is. I never did see The Matrix. I guess I ought to see it. I keep hearing about it.
Yeah, you should. I think the machines use humans as batteries.
Well, some of us have enough gas, that's for sure.
Yeah, I just came from Captain D's after the W4 EAO meeting. I'm going to have it.
Oh, cool. I like Captain D's.
Yeah. All right. Well, I won't tie up today any longer. Thanks for running that. As always, and 73 to everybody out there. KQ4A, that's the net control.
Yeah, very good. That's Chris, Kilo Quebec for Alpha Echo Tango, and he's on his way home from Captain D's and going down to South Mount Juliet somewhere. Who else is any place?
K4IDC mobile. Good.
Hey, you just coming home? No, you can't be going home from work at this hour.
A meeting at church after work.
Okay, very good. Everything go well?
Yeah, I think it went as well as it could go, given the circumstance.
Well, meetings are almost the bane of mankind.
Are you aware of what's happened in the United Methodist Church in the last 2 months?
Yeah, painfully, yes. I keep up with that, and that's why I grew up in a Methodist church.
Right. So, I'm on the leadership team, and it was upon the leadership team to decide whether or not we would continue to host weddings in our church, and then if the vote would have been yes, then whether or not we would allow same-sex union ceremonies. You will note the change in my language. Fortunately, the vote was no, we're not going to host weddings on our campus anymore.
Oh, wow. So in other words, in order to comply with the denomination's head office, you would had to have done that?
No, they changed the book of discipline such that it's up to every congregation to decide whether or not they will allow same-sex union ceremonies on their grounds, and it's up to every individual pastor to decide whether or not they will conduct said ceremony.
Well, over time, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not familiar with I know your place there, but over time, the problem will become like one of two things down the road. I don't mean tomorrow, but in the years hence, either a pastor or bishop will roll in, and he'll go, no, this is what we want to do, and then either the congregation will leave, or the church will leave the denomination and move over to that conservative group.
Yep.
And it's not pretty. It's unbelievable how you would ask me this even 20 years ago. That'll never happen. Well, it did.
I just said it 5 years.
Yeah, no, exactly. But well, again, a lot of churches have fallen victim to the liberalization of things, and it hasn't worked out well for any of them. I mean, the ones who have the most overall, and I know that, and that's why I was comforted by the idea that the southern churches would tend to hold the line, but that isn't universally true.
That's correct.
No, I expected the conservatism of the South, but I think that's now it's fading a little bit.
Yep. So we'll see what the DMC does next 2 years. Looking forward to field day.
Oh yeah, very much, and we'll see you on Friday night.
Yep, Friday afternoon. That's cool.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. All right. Well, very good. Anything else from that, Robin?
Nope, not tonight. Thanks for calling that as usual.
Yeah, very good. Only for like the thousandth time. That was Kilo for Indy Delta Charlie Mobile on the way home, and his name is Robin. So I'm guessing, where are you now, Robin? On Montreal Road going south?
Westbound on.
Okay, you're not even close yet. Westbound. Oh no, you're westbound on Pew. I'm sorry. You're on the way on the last leg of going home. Very good. Over toward the lake. Who else is any place anywhere?
89 RKK.
Very good. You must be coming home from the meeting as well, Frank.
Yes, that's correct. Yep. I would say Captain D's as well.
Or the Captain D's night. Captain D's, I don't know, I guess Mount Juliet zoning wouldn't let them put an access road on the side there. And Mount Juliet D's is the worst place to turn in any direction.
Oh yeah, that one's hard to get in and out of. Yeah, we were at the one in Lebanon. Just on west of there on the square. But yeah, I don't know. I since you like them, I won't say much other than sometimes I'm glad I've never been in the kitchen of that one. That's the only reason I can go there.
Well, again, you could say that about a lot of kitchens.
Correct. That's why, if I've been in there and I still go to eat there, that's a good sign.
Well, you almost have to, I think, to be a chef, I'll call it that, in a big restaurant or a manager of a small restaurant or a chain restaurant, you have got to be a tyrant to keep the place neat, clean, and polished.
Yeah. Well, I've been to some places just extremely well maintained, and then there's some that are like, oh my God, how do you have a license? Who are you paying on?
Yeah, I've seen it. I've been in some places over the years. Most of them were, in the business I was in, I hated restaurants. So I rarely called on restaurants for work. But I did go into hotel restaurants because we did a lot of commercial establishments. And hotel restaurants aren't any better than any other.
Yeah, sometimes. But yeah, I don't know. Some of the worst have been some chains, and some of them are what you would call really popular restaurants. And it's because I think of what you said. It's so much work. It's so big.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it's because the fact of the matter is, restaurants are crazy because there's all these people handling food, and it's all in. It's not like they're not wearing spacesuits because so everything that's on them technically is in the food. There's hair flying around, there's skin cells flying around, there's bacteria flying around. It's impossible not to have issues.
Correct. Yeah, I know. Yeah, as long as you know, insect parts don't get in there, I'm okay.
No, I understand. As long as you're not picking up steaks off the floor and putting them on the plate.
That's right. I mean, you got to be reasonable. And if you actually start reading the rules and start talking about what's allowed in food and how much is allowed in there, you're like, what? Anything's allowed? Well, you got to think about it. What do you think in anything that you eat? You know, when you look at the big picture, there's got to be some stuff in there. As long as it's microscopic compared to what you're eating, then it's fine. Except for, stuff like salmonella and that kind of stuff.
Well, yeah, and a lot of people who never were in a like I used to pick peaches right off the trees, or get apples off the trees, or cherries off trees. I didn't wash them. Who cares? I don't even wash fruit I don't wash fruit that I eat now. I don't even wash lettuce again. I don't care, because I figure if it's going to get me, washing it off in the sink ain't going to make it any better.
Yeah, I was just talking to somebody at work about that, about eating berries off of trees in the neighborhood. I kind of want a snack. Mom's not home. What's this? Oh, what are these red berries? I've done that.
Oh yeah, no, it's just some people get freaky about that, but washing off an apple just because you wash it off, I mean, what are you gonna do? Scrub it with soap and water? I mean, it's just silly.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Yeah, no, it's good. It was good. I mean, it tastes good, and it was fine. I hadn't been there in a while, but probably ate more than I should for this late. That's the only thing bad about going to the meeting. You get out late and you eat late, which is bad for you. So now I got to stay up late, which it wouldn't be too bad except for the fact I got to go to work in the morning. But anyway, I'll let you carry on. I'm just pulling into the neighborhood, so I'll turn it back over to the next control KV9 RKK.
Yeah, very good. That was Frank, Kilo Bravo 9, Romeo, Kilo, Kilo. He's mobile, heading up towards northwest Mount Juliet. Who else is any place anywhere? Hello, Stan. How are you?
Doing pretty well, Paul. How about you?
I don't have any aches or pains today, so I must be doing okay.
Oh, that sounds good.
Okay. Back problems are related to the only time I back is when I'm doing weed whacking and I'm leaning over a little bit, and it strains my back to do that. We're doing it for an hour,
Yeah, I think probably part of mine too.
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt about it. I remember as a kid, my father said, "Oh, my aching back," and he wasn't kidding. He said his back ached from doing whatever he was doing outside, and it is. Your back you degrade over time, don't we?
Yeah, I think we all get short over there.
Yeah, that's right. Anything else for the net stand?
No, that's all. That's the net. I'm sorry.
Very good. That's Stan. I'd have you in there. He's in Lebanon. Kilo Mike 4 Hotel, Quebec Echo. Who else is any place? We're looking for now we're going to lurkers, lollygaggers, and stragglers. Yeah, lurkers. Sandbag. Lurkers, no lurkers, lollygaggers, and sandbags. How about moon landing deniers and what else we got? Moon landing deniers and flat earthers. Okay, no shape-shifting lizard people either, eh? All righty. Well, then we're going to quit here at 16 seconds and move right over to 70 centimeters on 446, 415. We'll see you there. This is Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey with the Mount Juliet Simplex radio on 446, 415. Looking for check-ins right now from the east.
KM4 YRF.
Very good. Yeah, Michael in there. KM4 YRF in Mount Juliet. Who else is east? Okay, I guess Stan wasn't in there. Anybody else east? Or north? I guess Mark went to bed. Well, and anybody else north?
84 Mississippi, Garland up here. That's how you get it.
Ah, very good. We got Carlin in there. Kilo Delta 4 Victory Uniform Whiskey. Who else? North? How about West?
KC4 LV.
Yeah, you got a nice signal. Yours is almost as good as Michael's. You know that, Dan?
Thank you very much.
Yeah, very good. Who else? That was Jack and Donaldson. Kilo Golf 4 India Lima Victor. Who else is West? Okay, I got 2 in there. KO40TV Joel up West Ashland City. And Greg, Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo in Antioch. Who else is any place anywhere west?
KC4 TNQ.
Ah, very good. That's a big signal on 70 centimeters. Are you hearing her and everybody else good?
I've heard everybody so far except for the one up north.
Okay, that was Carlton. Carlin, I mean, up in whatever it is, Angeltown area. Yeah, his would be his is a little rough to me, but it was I could copy him, but I could see why you wouldn't though. You're kind of blocked by the city, aren't you?
I don't know, but you got excellent audio tonight.
Oh, good. Now tonight's been a good night for audio. I rarely look. I don't make a point of looking at the signal all the time on the screen. So, but when I hear big audio all night, I know the conditions are good. Anyway, that's Charles, Kilo Charlie 4 Tango November Quebec, West Nashville. Who else is west or south or any place? Calling all hands, calling all hands. Any place, anywhere. Please come now on 70 centimeters.
I'm calling you.
Finally pulled you out of the woodwork, Stan. Good to have you.
Yeah, finally got here.
Ah, very good. That was Stan, Kilo Mike 4 Hotel Quebec Echo. He's number 8 for tonight on 70 centimeters. Anybody else in there before we move over to 28.415? All right, that's where we're going. 28.415. Michael, if you would announce it over there on 2 meters, and we'll go from there.
I will do.
This is K4PW, and I control for Mount Juliet. Oh, hold on. This is K4PW, and I control for Mount Juliet Simplex Radio Net on 10 meters, 28.415, looking for check-ins from the east.
KM4YRF.
Yeah, big signal, of course. KM4YRF, that's Michael on Mount Juliet. Who else is east? Very good. Got you in there, Earl. Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu. Who else? And he's over in east of Cedars, Lebanon, as he calls it, Stick City. Who else is east? East or north? East, north, or west? I hear somebody in there, but I can't hear him. Anybody copying that? West. You got anybody west? All right, I got you in there, Greg. You're a little low, but I'm copying you pretty good. Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo. Anybody else west? All right, we got Kilo Golf 4 India Lima Victor Jack and Donaldson. Anybody else west? All right, anybody else any place anywhere, including south, because we already started there. Who was that? Oh, I didn't hear Joe. That was probably who I heard. All right, we got KO4OTV. Joel, can you hear me? And Greg, if you copy for me, because I can't hear him. All right, very good. I got him in there. That's Kilo Oscar 4 Oscar Tango Victor on a relay, which is good. It's almost as good as virtual or email check-in. Anybody else, any place, anywhere, please come now. Ah, very good. Very good. Were you copying Joel at all? Oh, cool. Very good. I thought you might. That was Kilo Charlie 4, Tango November, Quebec. That's Charles in West Nashville. Anybody else? Anybody, any place, anywhere on 10 meters, please come down. Is anybody copying anything I'm not?
Nope.
All righty. Well, we'll move right over here and close out both of the Facebook and the YouTube and go over to 223-415 for our private chat area. It's K4 where we stand. Have a good night, everybody. Good night. Good night, Facebook. Good night to YouTube. Appreciate your time.